You alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
What you up to?
Can I ask you why you're engaged in it?
Stop there a minute.
Why?
I'm just trying to identify who you are because you've got your face covered and you've... what's your name, please, sir?
I don't have to give you my name.
Okay, well, at this moment in time, we believe that you might well be wanted. Okay.
So,
Well, we'll cross that bridge in a minute once we've confirmed it. So that's why we need to identify who you are. It's all right. We'll do it another way. Just bear with us a second.
You start with your first name, please, sir.
I don't believe I have to provide your name.
Okay. Well, I believe that you wanted, right? Okay. Just by your description alone, right? So I believe that you're wanted off a briefing that I've received today, right? So we can do it one of two ways.
Wanted for what?
Well, wanted for an offence.
What offence?
Well, wanted for an offence of harassment, actually. So I need to check you out in order to see A, if it is you, or B, if it isn't you, right? And if it isn't you, I'll bid you good day and off you go.
From the very first interaction, the officer's approach was deeply flawed. He claimed the auditor matched the description of a wanted person based solely on a vague morning briefing, and immediately pressured him for personal details, offering no concrete justification. There was no description, no mention of a specific offense, just an assumption. This was not policing based on facts. It was fishing with authority. When the auditor rightly refused to give his name, the officer insisted, saying, "If it's not you, I'll let you go." This exposes the underlying problem. He treated providing identity as a test to earn the right to walk away. In the UK, rights aren't conditional on satisfying a hunch. Police must have actual, articulable grounds, not vague briefings or gut feelings.
So if we start with your first name, or are we going to have to get a fingerprint scanner down here and find out who you are, or take you down to custody to try and identify you because you refuse to give me details?
I haven't committed an offence.
Okay, so if you haven't committed any offences, can I start with your first name, please, sir?
I don't need to give you my first name.
Okay, well, I believe you to be Christopher Green, and I'm detaining you currently.
I am not Christopher Green.
Right, okay, well, that's fine,
arrested.
but you're currently being detained up until the point that I can establish who you are. You're refusing to give me some details, so I need to establish who you are.
Please ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm PC 17768 Neil Williams.
And you, please?
Sergeant 15563.
Thank you.
Right,
which
okay,
station?
So can we make
Western
it nice and easy for us and start giving just the first name, please?
Can I ask you which station you're from?
Yeah, I work at Withenshaw Police Station, work part of the X Department and part of the Transport Unit for Great Manchester Police.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
So we're going to start with your name then, please. And if there's nothing wrong, then we'll send you on your way.
When the officer suddenly declared, "I believe you to be Christopher Green," despite the auditor calmly insisting he was not, it exposed a real problem. This interaction wasn't about identifying a wanted person. It was about controlling a situation where the officer felt challenged. The auditor had done nothing to raise suspicion. No evasiveness, no threatening behavior, just a lawful refusal to give his name. In the UK, that is a right, not a red flag. Even more alarming, the officer publicly stated the full name of the alleged suspect. Under UK GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018, personal data must be handled carefully. Naming someone as wanted without confirmation is unnecessary, potentially defamatory, and a serious breach of duty. If the name Christopher Green has no connection to the auditor, this action risks harming both the auditor and the actual individual, assuming that person even exists. Such behavior demonstrates a reckless disregard for rights and legal responsibilities, turning a routine interaction into a damaging public exposure.
It's not Christopher Green.
Okay.
100 Alpha.
And what is your name, please? And have you got anything to identify yourself?
I don't believe I have to answer these questions.
Right. You don't believe that you have to right, okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted, right? So make it easy for us. Give us your details, identify yourself, show me some identification.
I don't believe I have to identify myself.
Well, you do.
We could arrest you, take you to custody and put you on a live scan machine. There's a necessity, if you're not giving your name and address, for us to verify who you are if we believe you to be wanted from the information we've got. So you can
I don't have to do that. You've not provided me with any grounds for an arrest.
Right, take your hands out your pocket so I can see them. I need Right, I need to identify you. I'm trying to make it easy for you here, sir. So what I want,
I'm not in
what I want
any
is
threat to you.
no,
guys.
no, not at all.
No, I'm not.
You had your hands in your pockets, and I don't know who you are.
Despite detaining the auditor in public, the officer offered no concrete grounds, no specific offense, no evidence, only a vague claim that the auditor matched the description. When the auditor rightly asked for the legal basis of the detention, the officer abruptly shifted focus, fixating on the fact that the auditor had his hands in his pockets. This was a clear deflection. Instead of addressing the crucial question, "What offense do you suspect me of?" he invented a new problem: posture. It was as if remaining calm with hands in a coat could justify detention. Even more revealing, the officer admitted, "I don't know who you are." The auditor was being detained not for any criminal act, but simply because the officer didn't recognize him. This interaction highlights a disturbing abuse of authority, where a person's lawful rights are subordinated to an officer's uncertainty and desire for control.
Up until the point that you identify yourself, make it easy for us, and if it isn't you, and I can establish who you are, and I can clearly identify you, then I'll send you on your way, right? Okay, but by you being obstructive at the moment...
I'm not being obstructive.
Well, you are, because you're refusing to provide me some details.
No, because I don't believe lawfully that I have to give you those details because I haven't committed any offence of harassment. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted, so okay. I want you to. I need you to identify yourself in order for me to make those inquiries. And once I make those inquiries and find out that you are either wanted or you're free to go, I will then send you on your way. Okay. Oh, no, don't. No. Excuse me. I'm speaking.
You've asked me whether I'm Christopher Green, and I've said I'm not Christopher Green.
Right. And all I'll say to you is, right, identify yourself, because
stop giving me orders.
I'm the police here.
Speak to me respectfully.
I have done. I've tried.
Speak to me respectfully.
What I'll say to you is, you're not going anywhere up until the point that I can clearly identify you. Okay.
Right, but please continue.
There you go.
To speak to me respectfully. Okay.
So what's your name, please?
To speak to you always respectfully.
With your name, please.
The auditor stayed calm, clear, and entirely within his rights, asserting he hadn't committed a crime and wasn't obliged to provide ID without lawful grounds. Instead of responding professionally, the officer lost composure, shouting, No, I'm the police here," as if stating his title made his actions lawful. This outburst revealed the problem. The officer was neither in control of the situation nor grounded in the law. When authority figures feel challenged without justification, they often resort to intimidation. His aggressive, loud posture wasn't about resolving anything legally. It was a tactic to scare someone into submission. The auditor's calm demeanor highlighted the officer's overreach and reliance on coercion rather than lawful authority.
I'm not giving you my name.
Right, have you got any ID on you?
I'm not. I don't have to do this.
The problem is, we suspect you of an offence.
Sorry, mate, why do you believe that you don't have to do this?
Because I don't believe I've committed a criminal offence.
Right, okay. Well, then make it easy for me, sir, right?
I don't have to make anything easy for you.
Yeah, you do, unfortunately.
No, I don't.
Why are you being so obstructive? If you're not committed any offence, we can check your details. Then
I don't have to discuss anything with you.
Why are you trying to avoid it?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Because it's going to be a long process for you if we have to take you to custody and put you on one of them live scan machines to find out who you are.
Well,
so it sounds straightforward. If you just give us your details, we can check if you want or not. If you're not, absolutely fine, which is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not Christopher Green, and I'm saying I've not committed offensive harassment.
Who are you then?
I've just told you I don't believe that I have to give you that information.
The auditor wasn't being obstructive. He was calmly asserting his right not to provide personal details without clear lawful grounds. This wasn't avoidance. It was a citizen exercising the rights the police are sworn to uphold. Instead of respecting that, the officer resorted to intimidation, warning that non-compliance could result in a lengthy and unnecessary custody process. This wasn't about justice. It was about punishing someone for asserting their rights. Even more revealing was a live scan machine comment, which highlighted the officer's true motive, using pressure and inconvenience as a substitute for lawful grounds. When an officer resorts to threats simply because someone knows their rights, it exposes a serious failure in training and mindset. Effective policing depends on accountability, not coercion. In this moment, the auditor's calm, lawful stance exposed the officer's overreach far more clearly than any words could.
And if I do, then I can give it to your desk
Can you start
sergeant,
by
or I can give
removing
it
your
to a
face
judge.
covering, please, so I can see exactly who you
No,
are?
no.
Right, I'm going to let go of your arm now, yeah? Okay? What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be putting your hands in your pockets,
Promise
right?
you I won't do that.
Okay? Because I need to be
Promise you I won't
satisfied
do that.
that you've
I'm
not
not
got
gonna do
something
that.
that can harm me or anyone else.
I promise you there's nothing
Right,
in my
okay.
pockets that could harm you.
It is, isn't it? Boss. Boss.
Do you want to go and have a look at that picture? I'll stay here.
It is,
So
isn't it?
guys, it looks like I'm going to be arrested here. Can I just turn this off?
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of harassment.
According to the evidence, unlawfully arrested. I've now passed the case on to HNK, and they are currently considering all of the information before they either accept or reject the case, and I'll let you know what happens there, guys.
This arrest marked the most striking failure in a series of poor decisions by the officers involved. From the outset, the lead officer refused to provide clear, lawful grounds for his actions and continuously pressured the auditor for personal details. No crime had been committed, and there was no legitimate suspicion. Yet, the officer proceeded to detain and ultimately arrest him. It was a textbook case of abuse of authority. Justice, however, eventually prevailed. The auditor later confirmed that HNK solicitors took on the case, and just weeks ago, he publicly announced that he won his claim. This victory is not just personal. It is a powerful reminder that unlawful policing carries consequences. The incident began while Auditor Autistic Audit was calmly filming outside the BBC building, entirely within his legal rights. Two officers arrived and immediately escalated the situation, citing a vague morning briefing and claiming the auditor matched the description. The lead officer wasted no time in demanding the auditor's name. When the auditor rightly refused, standing on solid legal grounds, events quickly spiraled. Instead of providing reasonable suspicion or factual evidence, the lead officer declared that he believed the auditor was a man named Christopher Green. He even publicly stated the full name, a blatant violation of privacy, and a serious breach under UK GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018. There was zero confirmation of identity, putting both the auditor and the actual person named at potential risk. When the auditor calmly pressed for lawful grounds, the officer provided none, doubling down instead. The lead officer's loud, aggressive outburst, "No, I'm the police here," was not about public safety or following the law. It was about asserting control, plain and simple. Adding insult to injury, the second officer framed the auditor's lawful resistance as obstruction, warning that if taken into custody, the process would be long and uncomfortable. This was a classic scare tactic, designed to intimidate a citizen standing up for their rights. When officers fail to secure instant compliance, threats become their default tool. Eventually, the auditor was arrested with no ID match, no evidence, and no real suspicion, just assumptions and abuse of power. Throughout the encounter, the auditor remained calm, clear, and entirely within his rights. He consistently asserted that he had not committed a crime and was not obliged to provide personal details without lawful grounds. Instead of addressing this professionally, the lead officer resorted to shouting, trying to use his title to justify unlawful behavior. His aggression revealed that he was rattled and reliant on intimidation rather than law. The live scan machine's comment further highlighted the true motive: pressure and inconvenience substituted for legal justification. This episode exposes a severe failure in police training and mindset. Effective policing relies on accountability and lawful conduct, not coercion or fear. Ultimately, the case ended in court, and the auditor's victory proved that unlawful policing carries consequences. It serves as a reminder that vague suspicions, aggressive tactics, and rights violations cannot replace proper legal procedure. Officers must understand that authority does not exempt them from accountability, and that the law is not on the side of those who act without justification. This case is a step toward changing that culture and reinforcing the principle that citizens' rights cannot be ignored.